Here we go, Anna. Gonna be another nice day. And right off the bat, in order to kick off this incredible day, I will be climbing this grain bin. Ditch, it'll fit about 5,000 to 6,000 more bushels in there, okay? So we'll probably call it close to full. In about 3 hours I'll have to climb it again, and it should be right up there.
Grain markets are higher this morning. December corn futures up 2 1/4 at 4.20.
Breakfast time.
3/4.
It's also a good time to compare prices on chemicals right now. So we're looking at getting things ready for next year, and we're looking at different chemicals we're going to need to have on hand. We want to pay for that by the end of the year, just because we're on a cash accounting with the IRS, and so a lot of farmers do that. So we've already paid for all of our fertilizer for next year. As soon as we got the soybean crop off, we paid the co-op for that fertilizer. Some of it's down already, some of it's not. We don't want to put any nitrogen down until the ground gets pretty cold. Our weather's holding us back from that, which is fine. I'll take the warmer weather for sure. But I'm using FBN right now. I'm on the platform looking up some of our active ingredients that we're going to use and actually comparing them to the prices I've got over here from my co-op, and just kind of seeing where the prices are at on everything. Even as we take out this crop, we're planning ahead to next year, which is not always the funnest. It's be more fun to just take this crop out and not have to worry about next year's crop at the same time, but that's the way it is with seed, fertilizer, chemical, everything, every year it seems. Anyway, if you're not a member of FBN, the membership is free. They've supported this channel for many years. There's a lot of great stuff on the platform. Right now you can get 0% financing if you don't want to pay cash, and that lasts all through next season. So look into it if you're a farmer. They've got some great cash discounts. They got Cyber November coming up. There's a good referral program. Just check into it. There's some links down below for that.
Morning.
It's not too bad.
What is? No.
A couple hours to be empty.
Yeah, 3. And then we got what's in the cart yet.
Yeah.
We have shut the dryer down now in preparation of that bin getting full. What we're doing is we're transferring corn out of the big bin around the corner here, around the bend. We're pulling the center out of that, which it's had loads out of it, but we want to pull the center out of it and see what that corn is like to make sure it's in good condition, make sure it's nice and cool, because it's been sitting for a while now. It's from last year's crop. It's marketed, but we are moving it into this back bin that's on the floor. So we're going to transfer some out and go in and make sure that corn is nice before we put corn, this year's crop, on top of it. So we're still able to get to the bottom of this bin. People ask me all the time why I don't put cameras in the bins so I don't have to climb them so much. You see how dusty that is? That camera would last 15 minutes and you'd never see anything out of it ever again. That's why. So in a few minutes we'll shut that down and let the dust settle, and I'll climb in there and make sure that corn is nice and cool and in good condition. And Jim did a bunch of ripping yesterday. Dad must be putting def in right now. These points are getting down there. We do have some new ones to put on. These will go at least another day yet, maybe 2 days. I guess not. That's pretty dry, so this thing still needs def. So the ripper here has a couple of spots on it where it's just common for the bolts to get loose, and I can see that one of them is, so I'm just gonna snug those up real quick here so Jim doesn't have to worry about it. I don't remember what size they are other than a big metric. Maybe. Oh, you betcha. There we go. Now she's all ready for Jim, or whoever jumps in it. And Dad's been pulling some loads out of the bin you can't see, that's even behind this one, to just get some loads out of the center of that. We got to load them into the truck though, because they're not tied into the leg at all. It's just good to move grain, especially the centers of the bin, to get fresh airflow to it, and then we can put our new crop on top of it. Well, Dad transfers corn. I got a ride from Mrs. Millennial Farmer over to grab the tractor here. Colton was out yesterday actually and ran this for us and finished off this 100 acres, so we're getting some tillage done in the background while everything's going on. this is one of those fancy tar roads. So this is corn now that's coming out of that back bin. This is dried corn. We're just running it through the conveyors into that back bin. This is all just kind of preparation so that we can get that new crop going in there where we need it and make sure everything's good. So we'll be ready to combine here in less than an hour. We're gonna finish off one more truck that Dad's back there loading. I'm gonna check the oil on this thing and get this thing fired up because it's getting a little bit late and it's time to go combining. And I know people are gonna ask, well, why didn't you transfer that corn in the bins earlier? Well, you can't. We want to move it today. We want to move it at the time when we're going into it. We want to run the fan at the cold nights. You know, we can't do it a month ago when it's 80 degrees to cool that corn down and get stuff moved on time. I'm gonna pull the air filter on this also while it fuels up. Just go blow this out. You know what, never mind. We did that yesterday. Combine's full, grain cart's full, ripper's good to go, chisel plow is home, and we've got our corn transferred. So it is time to get other things moving here. You really can't hear the fan start on this thing. There we go. Shear bolts?
Yeah.
How many did you go through yesterday?
One.
Oh, good. You don't need to go through any more than that.
I hope not.
That was enough for you.
They're a bugger.
Yeah, they're not fun. I'll be here. Don't worry about me. It is late fall now, guys, and that probably means if you're like me, you're sweating a little bit less every day. But that doesn't mean that it's not still important to keep track of your hydration. With the cold climate, especially if you're in higher altitudes, there's specific challenges that actually come with staying hydrated in cold weather. Now that we are into late fall, Element has got their seasonal flavors here. We've got the chocolate medley box. They have chocolate mint, chocolate chai, and chocolate raspberry. I have not tried all of these flavors, but I can tell you right now, before I even have them all, it's gonna be the raspberry one that's my favorite. In fact, I'm gonna go try one right now. Now, the cool part about these is a lot of people will drink them hot. You can add them to your coffee. Some people will drink them just with hot water and add a little bit of cream, whatever you want. Maybe have it in the morning on your way to your workout, just before your workout. Maybe even drink it in your new Millennial Farmer tumbler. Whatever you want to do, I won't judge, but you can get those at the link below. Anyway, these flavors have got the same deal going on as all the other delicious flavors, where there is zero sugar, there's no artificial junk in here, it's just the potassium, the magnesium, and the sodium that you need to keep your body hydrated properly. Give it a little bit of a stir or a shake, mix it up there, whatever. Oh yeah, that is good stuff. I'm just gonna keep drinking it like this. This is the stuff that's really helped me with my leg cramps, especially in the summer when we're gone racing or I put on 20,000 steps a day, which happens quite a bit. If you wanna try some out for yourself, all you've gotta do is go to drinkelement.com/farmer. We'll link that down below. Element is LMNT, so drinkelement.com/farmer, and you can get an 8 free sample pack on that, and then you can find your favorite flavor. Figured I'd run out here and just check and see what kind of job the ripper's doing. He stopped before I even got here. I'm guessing this is why. Did you see where it went?
No, I looked. That's what I was going looking for. It had to be right over it.
I'm gonna guess it's right out here somewhere, yeah.
Because I know there was a rock out there, but...
You found a rock?
well,
The disc blade did.
I think so.
He's gonna keep going, and I'm gonna go see if I can find that thing. It's over in this area somewhere. Just gonna check the depth on stuff too. Yeah, those shanks are going plenty deep. No luck yet. You guys see it anywhere? Got it. Now let's hope the blade is fine. Casting looks fine. Bearing seems fine. These are not made out of aluminum or carbon fiber, so they are a little heavy. That all looks, I think it's okay. You know, I might be best off just bringing a Ranger. Then I got the box. If I got the Ranger, then I got a box and I can grab all the tools and I'll just pick it up, take it to Jim, and we'll throw it on right now. And of course, can't jump in this thing without these two joining me, so let's go. Let's go on. This is less dusty and it's got air conditioning anyway. As long as you can put up with it smelling a little bit like dog in here. I've only got 10 minutes before I figured I needed to climb this bin that's getting full. Which means I better do it now before I run out there. About a half a ring left, so I gotta do some math and figure out how many bushels that is. 5 to 7. I found that disc blade, it's in the back corner. I got the Ranger and the tools now, so I'll go grab it and meet you on that end of the field probably next time.
10-4.
One of you want to jump out and grab that? Oh, no thumbs, that's right. You guys okay? Sorry about that. I'm really sorry about the thumb joke. I'm really sorry. I did mean it. You don't have thumbs. Alright. No, let me lift that. You put the bolts in. Can't get an impact in there either, so we gotta do it the old-fashioned way.
I thought about telling you to go in the water. That's the last place I came from.
That's where things will break a lot too if you're scratching the surface, you know, like when turning. What's that? Well, then we'll know it's from here north. Which ones are the good ones? Oh, actually, we didn't get any metric ones this big. The metric ones don't go real big, yeah. These are metric, yeah. We got a half dozen of these last week from deer because we had some issues with these last fall. Find metric ones if they are?
No,
the shear bolts are not.
No.
That's funny.
We tried to, had one left in there and we tried to knock down.
We got it, girls. Don't worry about it. Didge. Every time I leave you in here for a few minutes, you have that sheepish look like you're up to no good. Make sure this thing's doing a good job as long as I'm out here. Oh. That must have been a cob. Yeah, I think that was a cob that came through the deck plates or something. Out of curiosity here, I'm going to log into his machine and see where his settings are at. Come on. Looks like everything is identical to where we ended yesterday. He hasn't changed anything. look at that. It's a men's room. Anybody else in here? Sink doesn't work. We're home, ladies. Welcome home. Was that a fun little adventure? I've personally had adventures that are more fun. I've had adventures that are a lot worse too. Well, it's time. Gonna switch over to that back bin that we ran out of this morning. Without climbing that other bin, I just know by doing the math that it's pretty well at the top. It's probably got a little extra room in there, but we're solid. A little bit nervous whenever switching to a new bin. I can see the dust coming out up there, so that's a good sign we're going in the correct bin. Speed it up a little and hope we have similar good results. Well, cool. Nothing's broke yet, as far as I know. Trucks in, trucks out. I've been able to run the air system faster on the new bin because it's closer. So it doesn't take as much power to push the corn a shorter distance, obviously. So we're rolling through, right now, 1,800 bushels an hour, which is pretty good for that air system. And I'm gonna just go ahead and try and push it a little harder and hope I don't plug it again. I got it up to about 2,200 bushels an hour. And I just felt in my ears like it was pushing it too much. So backed it down to 2,000, it's running good now. But Jim called. I didn't really understand exactly what he said. There's a roll pin issue or something? Whatever it is, we'll find out what it is and we'll get it fixed. What'd you do now?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I just seen it when I was checking things. That big pin on the other side.
On the other side, the big pin that runs the leveling discs?
Yeah. The roll pin is just about out of it. I think we better hold it back a little bit. I mean,
Oh, right here.
yeah.
Oh, I see. So the big pin is still in.
Yeah, everything.
That roll pin just needs to be hammered through so that it doesn't come the rest of the way out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's easy enough, hopefully. That went in almost too easy. It's through now. Easy enough. Am I on the right part?
Yeah.
That's just that's what that's just it's gonna be easier to use a wrench and have to be working with. Keep tight. So it's got to be like a seal out inside here, huh? So this guy, you have to take both these pins out? Front and back? So then we got to set it down and let the leveling disc down, float it, and get the pressure off. No big deal on the roll pin, but that cylinder leak seems to get worse and worse. So one of these days, we're going to have to put a jack underneath that and pull that cylinder off. Maybe tomorrow or the next day when I pull it in and put new points on all the shanks. We'll see, maybe. This field that we've been working on for a couple days, it's a big field right next to home, but it's got a lot of variability. So there's a lot of really heavy ground out in this area, but you start getting back here and there's about 40 acres of really light, coarse textured soil.
Well, yeah, till dark, I suppose, or we'll have to pay the other one.
I I've talked about this hill before. If you've watched in the past, this is where I've planted cover crops, and we usually try not to till here. Just kind of always trying to do something a little bit different here to keep the sand from blowing. Otherwise, especially in the winter, if we don't get much snow, it just blows and blows. So what I'm doing here is actually just making a loop around the hill just so Jim knows exactly where I want him to turn around with that ripper. Because if we do any tillage up here, it's going to be with the VT disc once we get things moving. We don't have any reason to need to run the ripper over this area. I don't think this camera is going to do that sunset justice. Man, that's a thing of beauty. Dad's out cleaning some extra chaff off the combine. As dry as we've been and with the wind and everything, we're a little bit nervous about fires. So he's just taking an extra step there and cleaning the machine off, just hoping we minimize that risk. Hey, Cow. Everybody, this is Cow. He's always friendly up at the house, but for whatever reason, he's skittish of me when we're down in the yard. Come here. All right, well, you go do your thing then. And you guys in the comments, I want you to guess as to why the girls named him Cow. Because he's clearly a cat. Anyway, these Mendeco chisel plows are a nice piece. I really like that thing. It got a lot colder out here in the last hour. Hello.
I blew the combine off some.
I saw that.
That fire I had last year from that flip clutch,
Yeah?
that had all this dry chaff on it, it could have taken off really fast.
Yeah, I suppose it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire scares me this year.
Yeah. Everybody's home now. I may as well hit the light switches. They take a minute to warm up.